first, we have to randomize the teams. So that's going to be the Hornets and the Timberwolves. So, Hornets and the Timberwolves. Let's see how many times we're going to randomize those. And we need team 1 and 2 up on the left side of the screen. 6 times on that randomization. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going to be whoever takes first place in the users randomization will get the Timberwolves, and whoever takes second place will get the Hornets. And we are going to randomize these 8 times. It appears we do not have the numbers for a snake. This will be the last break of the night. We only have 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Double M getting the Hornets and Jen getting the Timberwolves. Ozone getting the Timberwolves. Double M getting the Hornets. And I will get these teams loaded. There we go. And here we go. We have a Denny Avadaya RC of the Washington Wizards right off the bat going to Jen. Followed up by an Anthony Davis of the Lakers. Then we have a Zach LaVine tricolor of the Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine of the tricolor Chicago Bulls. Followed up by Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, T-Man, you have the Cavs. Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns. I'll have to check that certified promo after this break, Mr. CEO. And then we're going to have an auto. It is out of 25. And that is an in-flight Harold Miner of the Miami Heat going to Cynthia. Tom, it depends on the year. The randoms are always going to be the 2 most popular teams of that year for NBA. Sometimes 4 teams, depending on what's going on. Marvin Bagley of the Kings, Pascal Siakam of the Raptors, Terry Rozier of the Hornets. They tricolor Devin Vassell of the San Antonio Spurs going to Steven, followed by Carmelo Anthony of the Portland Trailblazers. Looks like we got a thick boy in here. We have Russell Westbrook of the Wizards, and Aleksej Pokusevski of the Thunder, right, of the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by a Kyle Lowry out of 299 of the Toronto Raptors headed to Shannon. Then we've got a Tyrese Halliburton of the Sacramento Kings going to Jack. And our memorabilia right here is going to be a Malachi Flynn rookie patch of the Toronto Raptors headed to Shannon. On to our next pack here. Yusuf Nurk of the Trailblazers, Eric Bledsoe of the Pelicans, and Emmanuel Quickley RC of the New York Knicks going to Double M, followed by Precious Achua of the Miami Heat going to Cynthia. And here we go. This is going to be out of 199, and it is a Patrick Williams rookie patch auto going to Rob. It'll definitely work for the division random. It's probably not working for one of the new pick your teams that we just posted. But it should be. I can't check right this moment. Mitchell Robinson of the Knicks. An Aaron Naismith. Aaron Naismith of the Boston Celtics RC going to Jen. And then we're going to have a silver Anthony Davis of the Lakers. Silver Anthony Davis of the Lakers. Unstoppable right there. That's a pretty card. Followed by a Cassius Winston silver RC of the Washington Wizards going to Jen. And Drew Holiday of the Milwaukee Bucks. Alrighty, on to our next pack. I'm trying to get to that certified to see what's going on. Alright, what number is that break? That'll really help me out while I try to figure this out. We have a Killian Hayes RC of the Detroit Pistons headed to Robert, followed by John Wall of the Rockets, and then we have Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Jen. A filler right there, followed by a silver Russell Westbrook of the Wizards. And then we're going to have a premier level Sadiq Bey of the Detroit Pistons going to Rob. All right, it should be working for the division random now. Zeke Naji, RC of the Denver Nuggets, going to Cynthia. Followed up by Nikola Vukovic of the Bulls. A little James Weissman of the Warriors, Golden RC, headed to Brooke. Followed by rookie Rubio. And then a courtside Nico Mannion of the Golden State Warriors, heading to Brooke. And that Ricky Rubio is a silver premier level of the Timberwolves, going to Jen. 2, 4, 5 packs left. We have a Vernon Carey Jr. RC of the Charlotte Hornets going to Double M. Lou Williams of the Hawks. And bang-a-rang, it's the Anthony Edwards base RC of the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Jen. Following that up with a silver Marvin Bagley III of the Sacramento Kings headed to Jack. And then we have a Bradley Beal courtside of the Washington Wizards going to Jen. Bojan Bogdanovic of the Hawks, Steven Adams of the Pelicans, Kyrie Irving of the Nets, a red De'Aaron Fox out of 199 of the Sacramento Kings headed to Jack. And then we have a Kira Lewis Jr. RC of the New Orleans Pelicans headed to Chris. Cassius Winston RC of the Wizards going to Jen. CJ Ellaby of the Trailblazers headed to Steven. Nikola Jokic of the Nuggets. A tricolor, Tim Hardaway Jr. of the Mavs. And then we have Mr. Norman Powell of the Trailblazers. Two packs left in this evening. Giannis of the Bucks, Derrick Rose of the Knicks, a Kira Lewis Jr. of the Pelicans RC. Kira Lewis Jr. of the Pelicans headed to Chris. Followed up by a premier level Kristaps Porzingis of the Dallas Mavericks. And then out of 99, Udoka Azubuike of the Utah Jazz going to a Robert with the little die cut right there. And we're on to our last pack in this one. James Harden of the Nets. Duncan Robinson of the Heat, a Udoka Azubuike RC of the Utah Jazz going to a Robert right there. Followed by a silver Zeke Naji RC of the Denver Nuggets going to Cynthia. And then Karis LeVert of the Pacers to wrap it up. Alrighty, we have the silver Zeke Naji of the Denver Nuggets going to Cynthia. Udoka Azubuike of the Utah Jazz headed to Robert. Kira Lewis Jr. of the New Orleans Pelicans heading to Chris. CJ Ellaby of the Portland Trailblazers headed to Steven. Cassius Winston of the Wizards. Cassius Winston of the Wizards to Jen. The premier Kira Lewis Jr. of the Pelicans going to Chris. Vernon Carey Jr. of the Hornets to Double M. The courtside Nico Mannion Jr. of the Golden State Warriors going to Brooke. James Weissman of the Warriors headed to Brooke as well. Followed up by Zeke Naji of the Denver Nuggets going to Cynthia. Sadiq Bey, premier of the Detroit Pistons, going to Robert. Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Jen. Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons headed to Robert. Cassius Winston of the Wizards headed to Jen. Aaron Naismith of the Boston Celtics. Aaron Naismith of the Celtics headed to Jen. A premier Precious Achiuwa of the Miami Heat going to Cynthia. Emmanuel Quickley of the New York Knicks to Double M. The premier Tyrese Halliburton of the Kings headed to Jack. Oleksij Pokusevski of the Thunder heading to Robert. The tricolor Devin Vassell of the Spurs headed to Steven. And Denny Avdija of the Washington Wizards going to Jen. And now on to the featured cards. The unstoppable Anthony Edwards of the Los Angeles Lakers going to Double M. Followed by two rookies, the Anthony Edwards base and the Udoka Azubuike die cut out of 99 of the Jazz. And then our hits. We have the Malachi Flynn patch of the Raptors headed to Shannon. The in-flight Harold Miner 2 out of 25 of the Miami Heat going to Cynthia. And then the rookie patch auto of Mr. Patrick Williams of the Chicago Bulls headed to Robert. Alrighty, let me double check, but it doesn't appear that anything else has moved. Alrighty, folks.